I wonder.
Come on, Latoya. Come on, baby.
Woman who was known for her powerful singing voice was shot and killed early Saturday morning. Police say her.
On September 18th, 2021, a woman was found shot in her own driveway. One bullet, straight through the chest. She was supposed to be on stage the very next day, singing, raising awareness about domestic violence. Instead, she became the victim. At first, it looked like a random argument gone wrong. Then investigators realized something darker. The person who pulled the trigger wasn't a stranger. It wasn't an intruder. It was her own son. So how does a son look his mother dead in the eye and then bang? And why does this kind of tragedy keep repeating itself, where the people trying to stop violence end up trapped inside it? Because what this mother ignored, what she kept protecting, and what everyone around her failed to take seriously is exactly what led to her death. But to understand how it reached that moment, we have to go back, before the driveway, before the argument, before the gunshot, to see who she really was. Let me know where you're watching from, and share your thoughts in the comments. You're watching Hidden Crime Network. Welcome to Spotsylvania County, Virginia, known for the crossroads of the Civil War, where battles were fought and history was written in blood. But this story isn't about the past. It's about a woman who had finally started living her dream after years of struggle, right before it was ripped away. Her name was Latoya Clara Acree, born November 23, 1979, to Talia Acree and Milton Carpenter. Raised in a family that believed in faith, hard work, and using your gifts to lift others up. And less than 48 hours before her death, she still believed everything at home was under control. She had a gift, a voice that could shake a room, the kind that hit you in the chest and touched your soul. She sang at Mount Hope Baptist Church, and when she did, people didn't just listen, they felt it.
We agreed it was over and we were through. We can't be friends. We can't be friends.
But Latoya wasn't waiting for someone to discover her. She was raising 4 children, largely on her own, working multiple jobs to keep food on the table, clothes on their backs, and a roof over their heads. And still, she found a way to build. Cosmetology license, opened her own salon, created a wig line, Latoya's A Hair, got certified in phlebotomy, associate degree in criminal justice, then went back to school at Walden University for social work. She was stacking skills, making moves. But still, the people closest to her knew something wasn't right at home. In 2019, she joined True Soul, a DC area band, and she became the voice. Traveling the South, filling clubs with power that reminded people of Whitney Houston, acting in indie films, rising fast. But while everything on the outside looked like success, inside her home there was something, someone she couldn't fix, someone she loved, someone she kept protecting. And on September 17th, 2021, that protection was about to cost her everything. While Latoya was out building her life,
Performing, working, chasing dreams, there was someone at home who wasn't building anything. Her youngest son, Elijah Deontay Smith. Early 20s, no job, no direction, no drive. And he wasn't just unmotivated, he was entitled. He treated Latoya's home like a hotel, a place to crash, eat, and do whatever he wanted without consequences. She had rules, basic ones: respect the house, don't bring women over for sex, show some decency. Elijah ignored all of them, and when she called him out, he got angry. But it wasn't just disrespect, it was violence. Years earlier, Elijah had assaulted his own brother during an argument with Latoya, physically attacked him because he tried to step in and defend their mother. That should have been the warning, but Latoya didn't kick him out. She kept giving him chances, kept hoping he'd change, kept believing that love and patience would turn him around. Because that's who Latoya was, a mother who couldn't abandon her child, even when that child was dangerous. But Elijah, he wasn't trying to change. He was comfortable, living rent-free, no responsibilities, no accountability, just a grown man leeching off his mother while she worked herself to exhaustion. And the more she gave, the more he took, until September 17th, 2021, the night Latoya came home early from a trip, the night she walked through her own front door and saw something she wasn't supposed to see, something that crossed a line she'd warned him about over and over. And this time, she wasn't going to let it slide. She had no idea that standing up to him one final time was the very act that cost her her life. If you were her, would you have cut him off earlier? Let me know in the comments.
She had a lot of confidence issues in the beginning. She had lost, 100 pounds. She got a new boyfriend. She was really, really happy. It seemed like things were just turning around for her.
September 17th, 2021. Latoya had been out of town. A short trip, nothing major. Just a break before what was supposed to be one of the biggest performances of her life. A domestic violence awareness event scheduled for the very next day. She came home that night expecting peace. Instead, she walked into her worst fear. Elijah was in the house with a woman having sex. In her home, after she'd told him over and over that this was the one thing she wouldn't tolerate. Not disrespect in passing, not an argument, full-on violation of the one boundary she'd drawn in the sand. And this time, Latoya didn't just get upset. She snapped. "Pack your things, you're done. You're leaving, tonight." The argument exploded, voices raised, emotions high, and it didn't stay inside. It spilled out into the driveway around 12:30 in the morning. Neighbors could probably hear it through their windows. Elijah loading his bags into his car, Latoya standing there, making sure he actually left this time. And then, through the passenger side window, he raised a gun and fired. One shot, straight into her chest. The sound cracked through the quiet neighborhood. Neighbors jolted awake, grabbed their phones, dialed 911. Deputies from the Spotsylvania County Sheriff's Office arrived within minutes. They found Latoya in the driveway, critically wounded, blood pooling beneath her, life slipping away. They started CPR immediately, rushed her to the hospital. Doctors fought to save her, but the damage was too severe. Latoya Clara Acree was pronounced dead from a gunshot wound to the upper body. The woman who was supposed to be on stage the next day, using her voice to raise awareness about domestic violence, became a victim of it instead. And if that sounds familiar, it should. It's the same tragic pattern we covered in the Kelly Ann Mays case, a domestic violence activist murdered by her own husband. If you haven't seen that story, I will link it at the end. So why do the people trying to fight violence keep ending up victims of it? Meanwhile, as doctors were trying to save Latoya's life, Elijah wasn't at the hospital. He didn't call 911 and definitely wasn't at the scene. He was gone. And what he did next shows exactly who he really was.
Was larger than life. Latoya Acree sang in the band True Soul alongside Caesar Roy.
She's had a lot of confidence issues in the beginning. She had lost, 100 pounds. She got a new boyfriend. She was really, really happy. It seemed like things were just turning around for her, and this happens.
A gunshot wound to the chest.
Early Saturday morning, 41-year-old Latoya Acree was shot and killed in the driveway of her Spotsylvania County home. Her son, 21-year-old Elijah Smith, was arrested and charged with her murder. Roy says he just saw her hours earlier and couldn't believe the news.
Obviously, God had a better plan, a bigger concert for her to sing in.
Before she was killed, Latoya and the band were preparing for a big show coming up this Saturday at an event to raise awareness about domestic violence. Now the band will dedicate the show to their late singer, who police say died a victim of domestic.
At 4 Mile Fork Motel, a cheap spot not far from the house, the kind of place you go when you don't want to be found. That's where Elijah went, and the woman who'd been at the center of the whole argument, she was with him. While Latoya was being rushed to the hospital, while doctors were fighting to save her life, Elijah was sitting in a motel room like nothing had happened, like he hadn't just shot his own mother in the chest. But it didn't take long for police to find him. They tracked his movements, surrounded the motel, and when they moved in, Elijah didn't resist. No chase, no standoff, just a quiet arrest. And when they searched his vehicle, they found the gun and a shell casing, physical evidence tying him directly to the murder. There was no question about who pulled the trigger, no mystery, no doubt. Elijah Deontay Smith had killed his mother, and the evidence proved it. But now came the real battle, because in court, it wouldn't just be about whether he did it, it would be about what to call it and how much his life was worth after he took hers. Elijah Deontay Smith was charged with second-degree murder and use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. Serious charges, decades behind bars if convicted. But his defense team had a strategy. They didn't deny he pulled the trigger. The evidence was too strong for that. Instead, they argued it wasn't murder, it was voluntary manslaughter. Heat of passion, an emotional explosion, a son who snapped in the middle of a heated argument with his mother. Not a calculated execution, not cold-blooded, just a tragic mistake born out of rage. The prosecution pushed back hard. They emphasized the deliberate nature of the act. Elijah didn't just lash out, he aimed a gun through the car window, pointed it at his mother, and fired. That's not heat of passion, that's a choice. The jury heard both sides, saw the evidence, listened to the arguments, and in the end, they sided with the prosecution. Guilty. Second-degree murder, use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. Sentencing came on April 14, 2023. Judge Ricardo Rigual imposed 44 years in prison with 10 years suspended. That meant an effective sentence of 34 years. Elijah was 23 years old at the time. If he serves the full sentence with good behavior, he could be released around age 56 or 57. For Latoya's family, the number felt hollow. Her niece, Kiana Carpenter, stood outside the courthouse and made her feelings clear. "My aunt didn't deserve this. He's a threat to society, family or not. If he could kill again, I'm sure he would. I'll forgive him, but I'll never forget." Later, on social media, she went further. 34 years is a slap on the wrist for killing the woman who gave you life, a woman who raised you, protected you, and still let you stay after you'd assaulted her. For the family, no amount of time could measure what was really lost. Because Latoya wasn't just a victim, the world lost another great gifted singer.
This is a remake of me, 79. I'd be so happy if you join me. Thank you so much. We belong together, and you know that I'm right. Why do you play with my heart? Why do you play with my mind? When I can't sleep at night without holding you tight, girl, each time I try, I just break down and cry. Pain in my head, or I'd rather be dead, spinning around and around.
Latoya Clara Acree was finally living the life she'd been chasing. Rising singer, confident, free. And she was about to use her voice to raise awareness about domestic violence. Instead, she became a victim of it, killed by the son she refused to give up on. It's the same tragic pattern we saw in the Kellyanne Mays case, an advocate trying to fight violence only to fall victim to it. And it raises a question we don't like to ask. At what point does protecting someone turn into protecting the person who will destroy you?
We really got to do better. You can at least check out this resource for practical tips on how to survive long enough to call 911 in any dangerous situation.
Latoya kept giving Elijah chances, even after the violence, even after the disrespect, even after everyone around her saw the danger. She couldn't abandon him. But love without boundaries isn't protection, it's permission. And in this case, it cost her everything. Drop a comment. Have you ever had to cut off a family member for your own safety? Hit like, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and check out the Kellyanne Mays case if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss important updates. Until next time, remember, compassion without boundaries isn't love, it's a trap. And sometimes the person you're saving is the one who'll take everything from you. Stay safe, stay wise, and thank you for joining us today. See you on another story from the Hidden Crime Network. Bye for now.